Hi guys, welcome to New Year's Eve lunchtime live. It is New Year's Eve. Me and the dog are on shift, so hopefully everyone will behave themselves for the time in which I'm doing this and I won't have to walk away. Hope you're all good. The chat box is there if you want to ask any questions or you got any topics that you want to talk about. Surprisingly mild for this time of year. It's been, I was quite surprised this morning. I said to the other handler when I turned up, it was like 9-10 degrees this morning, which is nice. We'll take that. We'll take that this time of year. Nice 9-10 degrees. Good temperature for dog handling. Not too hot, not too cold. But I think the end of this week is going to drop dramatically down to near freezing, which is definitely no fun with no heating of a night, but it's going to be interesting to see what it is as of a day. So that is that's to come at the end of the week, and then obviously we're into January, February and March, so it's going to get cold. Need to sort out some heating of some sorts. I've been too busy to try and get that done recently, which has been a bit of a pain. But yeah, chat box is there if you want to ask questions or any topics and that. Not really too much been going on. I did have some people walk through site on, what day did people walk through site? Friday. Did it happen on Friday? Yeah, some people walk through site. That's in the video that's coming this Saturday. That video is already on. That video is already on Patreon if you want to watch it. But the video coming Saturday is to do with Boxing Day and some people walking on site Friday. If you get a diesel heater for your van, get a carbon dioxide detector as well. Yeah, I know. When I originally tried to get the diesel heater, it come with an option of buying a carbon monoxide. It's carbon monoxide, or is it carbon dioxide, or whatever. It come with one of them detectors that you could buy, or you could get your own, etc. So yeah, I know that is a thing, just in case you don't want to end up poisoning yourself. Are you bald, or is that meant to, are you bald? I'm not bald, if that's what you mean. Hairline's receding a little bit, but other than that, like to keep my head warm, keep it heat in my body. I assume that meant. Are you Michael Phelps? Okay, here we go. But yeah, other than that, it's all been pretty good. Like I say, not too much hassle from last week, etc. But yeah, like I say, it's the end of the year now, going into 2025. Nothing much is really going to change, really, in terms of dog handling. I think the most worrying thing about security dog handling is that year on year, nothing really ever changes. Like, in terms of the governing bodies and that, they're never changing or pushing themselves forwards to make things any better, etc. So it is a kind of another year, same crap, really. So it's going to be interesting to see if they do start. But from my experience in the last, how long have I been doing this now? Nearly 4 years. My experience over the last 4 years, etc., is that the governing bodies don't really do any changes, don't push anything on. FF Gaming, where are you from? Southeast England, I'm based in. Chip King, now you're married, children next year. Well, I've got I don't know if do you remember Joe that used to go training with Terry? He had what was his dog's name? Oh, can't remember what his dog's name was now. Joe. We went on his podcast because he's left security dog handling now and gone into videography and wedding videography, and he actually was the videographer of our wedding, and he's just started up a YouTube page and podcasts as well. I think the podcasts on Spotify and the podcast on Spotify and the YouTube page is called The Wedding Playbook. And in maybe a couple of weeks, mine and Ada's episode, I went up to his place, or I went to his place a couple of weeks ago, and we filmed a podcast. So is it Jet? Jet was, yeah, so he had Jet, and then the dog that he's still got now is named something else. Jet was his original dog, and then he rescued a dog off of someone. And yeah, so I've done a podcast episode about our wedding, etc. That will drop in a couple of weeks, maybe. So I'll share that on my social media. Most of you probably won't want to watch it, but I think it's still interesting. And in that, he did ask about what the future holds, and I did say, well, Cooper's, how old's Cooper going to be? Cooper's 2019, so what's he going to be? Six in March? Yeah, Cooper will be 6 in March, so it is sort of coming up to that time where I do need to start thinking about maybe a second German Shepherd, or a second dog, general purpose dog. So whether that's next year, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, the time is coming to either dip the toe in for a second dog, German Shepherd, or see what happens. How old is Cooper now, and when will you think about getting a replacement? I actually didn't even see that, Derms. I didn't even see that comment. I was just, but I do talk about that in the podcast that we did with Joe. But yeah, I think Cooper is 6. He's 2019, so he'll be 6 in March. So if you think to get another dog, take your time training it properly, etc. You're probably looking at 18 months before you want that to become your proper dog, or the one that you rely on. So if I say I don't want to work Coop past the age of 9 really, but let him slow down from the age of 8, you're probably looking at maybe 6.5 to 7. You don't really want to push it too much past if you want to get a second dog. If he's still capable of working, keep him going. Look how old Bruno was when I retired him and how active he was. Yeah, exactly. I've always said, look, as long as Cooper wanted to come to work, so like now, when in the mornings I pack the van up and then I come back in, Ollie normally goes and hides because he doesn't like coming to work. Well, he doesn't like the van, I don't think. Ollie doesn't like the van. He'll go in the van. If I put him in the van, he won't cry or anything like that. When I travel, he starts hyperventilating a little bit. But he doesn't like coming. But Cooper will come to the door, put his lead on and collar on, and he'll walk out the door. So for as long as Cooper still wants to do that, I will still bring him to work. If I've got another dog and I go out and Cooper decides he wants to stay on the sofa and the other dog is capable of doing the work, etc., then I'm more than happy to leave him there. I don't know who this is, but they're pissing me off. Someone is doing my head in. That user's messages will be hidden. Thank God for that. But yeah, if he wanted to stay on the sofa and I had a dog that's capable of doing it, then, and he's like 8, 9, 10 years old or whatever, then I'll be happy to leave him at home, as long as I've obviously got a dog to go to work with. Whether the missus will be happy about me keep leaving the dog at home. But again, it does change as well, is if you're doing day work like I am at the moment, if you are doing day work, then it makes a difference that I can't leave him at home, because I can't leave him at home for 12 hours a day, so he will have to come to work anyway. But the difference between him sort of lounging around here and lounging around at home is no different really. So yeah, I'll bring him to work for as long as he wants to, but if, like I say, if I've got another dog and he decides he doesn't want to come, then as long as I've got another dog, it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, I think in the next year to 18 months I'll definitely have another puppy. But again, I've always said that if I will only get another dog if I'm definitely going to be staying in security dog handling for another dog's working span. So what's another dog's working span? 8 to 10 years. So I would only get another German Shepherd if I planned on being in security or security dog handling for the next sort of 8 to 10 years. So there's also that to look out for. But at the moment, I've got no plans to change. I've got no plans to change job or whatever, but you never know what's around the corner. You never know what the opportunities are that come to you. But at the moment, I've got no plans to do anything different. I enjoy this job. I do need to sort out heating in my van, but other than that, I enjoy this. I enjoy this as a job and a way of making money, etc. There's a lot of other things you could be doing that come with much more pressure, that come with much more pressure, much more is put on you in order to earn your wage. In terms of this, look, it's, as I've said countless times, it's a reasonably easy way to make money, and a decent wage at that as well. This has been the highest paid job that I've ever done. Now, some of that may talk for my education or whatever it is, but this is the highest paid job that I've ever done. And I've spoke to lots of other people that have contacted me through my videos, and I've spoken to social media and I've kept in touch with, and they've all said the same, that this is the highest paid job that they've ever had as well. So I think that there are a lot of harder ways to make your money. There are jobs in which you can earn more money and there's more opportunities, etc. But it depends if that's how you want to do your work in life. If you enjoy the job, that's half the battle. Awful if you don't like going to work. Yeah, I mean, I've been reasonably lucky in the jobs I've always done. I've always enjoyed the jobs that I've done. Now, I did have a stint where I was working for my old man, and as much as I did enjoy that, there come a time where it become less enjoyable, and then the pandemic happened, and look, that's why I've ended up in doing what I'm doing. But I think that working for my old man was never the end goal, but it was convenient and good opportunity at the time when I needed it. Because at one time I was working behind a bar at a golf club, and I was doing 45 hours in the winter, 60 hours in the summer, and I was earning 17.5 grand, and I was early 20s, yeah, maybe between sort of 20, maybe mid 20s, maybe somewhere between sort of 23 and 26. I was doing that. I was working for 17.5 grand, and I was doing 60 hours a week. Now I'm doing 60 hours a week now, in 5 days instead of 6, but I'm earning more than double of that. So yeah, I've always enjoyed the jobs that I've done, but your dad sacked you, I reckon. I think it come to an agreement that I didn't really want to be there anymore. Because of the pandemic, things happened. I don't think he would have been able to afford to keep me on anyway. But I think there was definitely months before that, before the pandemic and all that, where it was a kind of, my dad was only keeping me on to make sure I had a job. But when the opportunity come up for me to do security dog handling, he paid for all my training and all of that as a sort of redundancy package, if you want to put it like that. But so yeah, he kind of sacked me, but he made sure that I had a job to go on to. So yeah, I'll always be thankful for obviously him helping me, because he basically paid for me to go and get another job, which was obviously very nice. Because as I've said to a lot of other people, security dog handling, getting into it is not cheap. And I was quite lucky because of the pandemic and different things like that, that I was obviously couldn't spend my money, so I could spend my money getting the stuff that I needed in terms of torches, dog equipment, all that sort of stuff. But he did pay for training, which was pretty costly. I think in how much video is it? How much video did I say how much I paid for training? But it was a lot of money. I think it was up near sort of the £1,000 kind of mark, maybe even more than that, because I was going once or twice a week for a good 6 months. So that wasn't cheap. And I've spoken to lots of people where people want to get into this industry, and they're really keen, and they've got all the right thoughts of how they want to do it, etc. And then all of a sudden they start getting into it, and they realise that okay, yeah, training does become very expensive if you're trying to get your own dog passed. If you're buying, if you buy a dog that will qualify, and you've just got to get yourself up to standard and pass a NASDO, then it's obviously not as expensive. But then obviously the expense is the buying of the dog. If you buy an inexperienced dog, or you buy a puppy, you're obviously it's not going to be that expensive compared to a dog that is ready to go onto its NASDO next week, that can bite a sleeve, can do obedience and all that. You obviously pay a price, you pay a premium for the dog. Or like me, I pay a premium in terms of training. So it ends up costing roughly about the same whichever way you do it, because unless you know someone and you can get a decent dog at a decent price, or you get lucky, or someone is giving away a dog that's coming out of the industry and they want to rehome a dog for nothing, unless you're fortunate to get like that, you are going to pay a premium for a trained dog. But I've always said, if you are getting into this industry, and which way would I do it, I would always learn how to train a dog, because as much as obviously I paid a lot for that training at the start when I was sort of training Coop, because Coop was very green, and because he was very inexperienced, although I paid a lot for training at that time, I learned how to teach Cooper certain things that we're going to need for security. So when it comes to the next dog, I've already got all of that knowledge. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to fuck it up, because I think with every dog, with every handler, with every team, a handler's always going to fuck something up, because every dog is different, and the way in which I've taught Cooper stuff might not be the best way in order to teach the next dog something. So I think with every dog, I think if every handler was honest, they would say, I've done really well with this dog, but I fucked up this until I found a better way of doing it, and now the dog is better at it. So I think but because I spent all of that time training up Cooper at the start, I've got a base knowledge that I can go, right, this is how it should work, or this is how it worked last time, let me try that and see what happens. And then if it doesn't, then you just go to a trainer and say, look, this is how I've tried to do it, it doesn't work. How do you reckon we could try another way? And they'll say, we'll try this, and maybe that does work. But at the end of the day, you're still going to need to go dog training, because you're still going to need to get the decoys and all that sort of stuff. So you're still going to need to go training anyway. But in terms of like the base knowledge for the first sort of 6 months, you've got a really good knowledge. And when you get to your 4th or 5th dog, you will still fuck things up, because as I said, every dog is different, and the way in which you teach the first 3 dogs, the 4th dog might go, no, I'm not doing that. So it might work for 3 dogs, the 4th dog might go, no, that's not how I work. So I think whichever way you get in security dog handling, you end up paying a premium, whether it's for the dog or for training. But my advice is always to put your money into learning how to train a dog, rather than just buying a dog, because you never learn how to train a dog, if that makes any sense. And I'm not saying that I've got all of the knowledge in the world and could train any dog, but I've got the knowledge, the base knowledge I've got that I got from training my dog. So hopefully the next dog should be reasonably similar. Need a drink. So is everyone working on New Year's Eve, or they got it off? I think this is the first New Year's Eve I've worked in 4 years since I've been doing this job. Normally I'll save up holiday throughout the year, and then I normally try and break up for Christmas around the 19th December, depending on how much holiday I've saved. Around the 19th of December, I won't work Christmas Day. I'll work Boxing Day or bank holidays if I have to, because they're double money. They're always a good way of discerning. If I'm going to work 2 days, I'm going to work the bank holidays, and then I'll normally take all the rest of the time off until New Year. So yeah, this year I've not been able to do that. I'm lost. I don't know if that's a spam again. Where are you from? I'm from Southeast England. Chip King, sometimes doing mistakes when trying is not always a bad thing, because you remember it and you learn to adapt next round. Yeah, exactly. That's what but that's what I think Terry's always said, is that you will make mistakes when training a dog. You just have to learn from it, and the best way in which to fuck up is to do it at training. Don't fuck it up in a real life situation. Fuck it up at training. So look, you're always gonna mess up, and then hopefully, like I say, you learn from that, and then you don't do it with the next dog. Like there's certain things with Cooper that I would not do with my next dog, but then when I was bringing Cooper up as a puppy, I wasn't bringing him up to be a security dog. I was bringing him up to be a pet, and to be friends with everyone, etc. And I'm not saying that I don't want my dog to be friends, but I think I over-socialised, and I over-socialised Cooper with dogs, and I did it the wrong way, in which I didn't know any different really. Because when I was brought up with German Shepherds and that, with my mum and dad and that, like the dogs never really left the house. They was just always at home. So they was really good with people, but my previous dogs, that family dogs, have never been good with other dogs. So they've never really socialised. So with Cooper, I kind of over socialised him, and I would take him down the park, and I never knew any different. But I would let him run around with all the other dogs in the park and things like that. And I think I over-socialised him, and I didn't work on obedience around other dogs. So that is something that obviously next time I'm going to make sure that I do differently. Yes, I'll still socialise the dog with other dogs and people, because I want him to like other dogs and people and that, but I won't over socialize, and I will work on obedience around them kind of distractions. I never worked with Cooper on obedience with dogs, with distractions of other dogs. And even now when I go training, that Cooper will do obedience, he would do it well, but I know I've had to work really hard on him not wanting to just concentrate on other dogs. And there are dogs at training, Terry's dog for an example, they just stare each other out the whole time. Cooper will do obedience and he'll do everything that I want him to do, but he's always got one eye and he's always staring out another dog, etc. So yeah, that's something that obviously I fucked up at the start with Coop. But again, I was just trying to make him a really good dog and a friendly dog around other dogs, and he still is now. I can go down a park, other dogs can come up to him, they'll have a sniff. Would I let Coop off a lead? Let Coop off a lead in a park? No, I wouldn't, because if someone throws a ball for a dog, I know that Cooper will bully that dog to get to steal the ball. If another dog showed some kind of aggression towards him, I know that my dog's not going to back down, and I know, although I don't think he will hurt the dog too badly if he had to, I know what that looks like to other members of the public. And if they find out what my job is, I don't want that coming back on the industry, that there's a security dog handler that's just letting his dog loose in the park and although it might not be Cooper's fault, Cooper will most likely Cooper will probably have the last word on the situation. Obviously, there are going to be other dogs that he will have to have a proper tear up if he wants to. But if it's a small dog, I know that Cooper's going to end up having the last word on it, and it's just going to be a bad look. So would I let Cooper off the lead in a park? No, because I don't know what other people's dogs are going to do. Can other dogs come up to my dog and sniff and do whatever? Yes, he can, and Cooper won't bat an eyelid at it. He does it all the time. But like when I had Cooper on a lead and a cockapoo come up and try to attack Coop, within 0.6 of a second, the dog was backing up very quickly because Cooper told him that that was inappropriate. But if Cooper was off the lead, that would have maybe turned into a bad situation if that dog had kept coming forwards. Watch others training as much as possible. There isn't just one way to train a dog in whatever discipline you want to do. Yeah, exactly. Like I say, there's always going to be, like I said, every dog is different, and every trainer's different as well. You might go to one trainer who will train a dog one way, but if you go to another trainer, say like, absolutely, I've never done that, but this is how I do it. If they both get the right result, then brilliant. But I think that there's definitely a difference. I mean, I've never sat on the thing of being a positive only trainer or a balanced trainer or whatever. I do agree that if you've got a problem with a dog, whichever way, I don't want to make this come out the bad way, but whichever way sorts that problem out the quickest and the dog can lead a normal life the quickest, I agree with that method. As long as the dog's not in any pain or any of that nonsense. I'm not saying that, but I'm always someone that agrees that the quicker you can sort out a problem, the quicker the dog can lead a normal life, rather than the dog leading an unnormal life and suffering because of its behavior. So that's the way in which I've always looked with something. Look, if I've got Cooper on a slip chain, and in 5 minutes I can sort out a reactive issue that he had, let's say, like let's take for example a launcher. I know that Cooper, if someone's got a launcher with a ball and a dog, and they throw the ball with a launcher and the dog chases it, Cooper had a thing where he would go to chase the ball. Obviously I had him on a lead at the time, but if he couldn't go and chase the ball, he would then be reactive in terms of barking, because I'm stopping him. It's the frustration of me stopping him from being able to chase the ball. I managed to stop that within about 10 minutes of being down a park on a slip lead, on a slip chain. Yes, gave him a couple of hard checks, but within 10 minutes I sorted that out. Now, if someone has a launcher, he's still interested in it, but if someone throws it, he doesn't go to chase it anymore. He will watch it, and maybe if I'm walking in the other direction, maybe he'll be watching whilst walking, so he won't be looking in the direction he's meant to, but he doesn't go to chase the ball anymore. He doesn't get reactive. He doesn't start barking. He doesn't start jumping around when it happens. It took me 10 minutes down the park on a slip lead. There'll be lots of people, there'll be lots of trainers that don't agree with slip collars and things like that. Do I think that by being positive only and being encouraging and whatever, do I think I could have sorted that out in 10 minutes? Me personally, I don't think so. Maybe I don't have the skills in order to do that, but in 10 minutes I wouldn't have been able to sort that out. But for them 10 minutes where I had to correct him a little bit harder than I normally would, he now leads a normal life. If I'd done it positive only and it had taken me a week, 2 weeks, a month, or whatever it is, that would have been another month or another 2 weeks of Cooper being frustrated, wanting to chase the ball. Obviously, as he goes to chase it, the slip collar hitting him anyway. So I've always been a believer that if you can sort something out in 10 minutes on a slip collar, I'd rather do that than spend a week doing it or 2 weeks doing it doing positive only stuff. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, I've never said that I'm positive only. I've never said that I'm balanced. I'm just, if it works and the dog's not in pain and it sorts it out quickly, that's the route that I will go down. I'm going to get another bottle of water. Give me a sec. Oh. So has anyone got any questions or any other topics that they want answered? Now's a good time. I'm going to try and make these lives a little bit more regular. I've said that before, to be honest. Obviously, these lives were pretty regular, probably 2-3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. These lives were pretty regular 2 years ago, and then work patterns changed and different things like that, and they've become a little bit irregular. I started doing them again. I said I was going to bring them back, and then I switched from night shifts to day shifts, and it kind of stopped. But I am going to try and bring these back a little bit more. Problem is I'm working days now, so I'm not. The missus won't be happy if I go home and go straight on a live, so I have to do it sort of during the day, etc. And it has to be kind of light time when it's daytime. So hopefully I'm going to try and do a few more of these, because I was doing one every other week. I can do them every week, really. There's not too much stopping me, etc. It's just making sure that, hopefully, touch wood, that you're not going to get interrupted by something. And when you've got people banging around and people on site working, etc., you're not always guaranteed that you're not going to get called away to go and help do something, etc. So yeah, I am hopefully going to I'll try and make these a little bit more regular. It's been easy the last two, etc., because obviously it's the Christmas break, Boxing Day and New Year's Eve. Obviously it's the Christmas break, so touch wood, you should be left alone. Not always a guarantee, as always, but got a security hut not on another site over to the side of me, and he flies his drone around. That's something that I need to, well, I don't need to get him used to, but I know when the drone's flying around, because Cooper comes and jumps up at me because he's not too sure what it is. So that could be a good or a bad thing. At least he notifies me one way or the other that there's a drone in the area. I've not seen any auditors down this way, and this is not prime for auditors, but I'd be surprised if there wasn't auditors. I think the other security guards said there has been some auditors around the back before, flying drones and different things like that. So they have had them down here before, but I haven't. There hasn't been any since I've been here, thankfully. Not that I think they'll be too interested in what I'm doing anyway. To be honest, there's more going on around me than what's on here, so they'll probably be more interested on other bits going on. How long we done? 34 minutes. We'll give it another 5-10 minutes, unless you guys have got some other topics, etc. What in terms of videos, like I say, the video that's coming out on this video's out on Patreon now, coming out Saturday, is Boxing Day and the 3 silhouettes. So like I say, Boxing Day was last Thursday. That was just bringing you through Boxing Day shift, talking about the advantages of working Boxing Day, etc. And then I took that into Friday, and then I had 3 people walk on site. So there's a little bit about that There's a bit of audio from my interaction with them. Nothing too much. I've cut bits and pieces out to obviously not give away too much detail, etc. But there's some audio of my interaction with the three blokes walking on Friday, etc. So yeah, that's coming out. Like I said, that's on Patreon now. If you signed up to that and you want to go and watch it. In terms of other videos, etc., I haven't filmed one for the week after yet. I'm going to have a quick think. If anyone's got any video ideas that they want me to do, then let me know. Got tomorrow off because it's New Year's Day, so I'll finish tonight, and then I'm going home for New Year's Eve party, and then I'm off tomorrow because I don't want to turn up here drunk. And then I'll be working Thursday and Friday, so hopefully I'm going to do a video on Thursday or Friday. So try and get back into, because before Christmas or around sort of December time, I was working a week in front, which was quite nice because I'd have the video for the weekend already done when I was starting the week. So if there was a week like when I got ill, I think that's what done me when I got ill, and I ended up not working for a week. That video then become the weekend's video. So hopefully do a video on Thursday or Friday. So if there are people that have got any video ideas or anything that they want answered in a video, then I can do one. I can film that on Thursday or Friday. So if you let me know after watching this, if you're in the chat now, or if you're re-watching this after it goes out, because this video I'll put to go out, so if you have missed the start of it, you'll be able to watch it later on. If you've got any video ideas, then let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, other than that, there's not too much. It's just started spitting with rain here, which is not too handy. But like I said, the weather's been not tropical, but for this time of year to be 9-10 degrees, etc., has been pretty nice. I still wrap up pretty warm when I go out. This fleece thing I got from Asda, it was like 25 quid. It's got to be one of the warmest things I've ever worn. And bear in mind, there has been days here where it's been like 3 or 4 degrees, and I've had to just get out of the van quickly, go and talk to someone, and this has been one of the warmest jumpers. I still put my coat on and wrap myself up when I go out, just in case I do get cold, etc. But this hoodie has been one of the warmest things. And like I say, I got it out of Asda, I think, and it was like 25 quid. Easily, if you went to Blue Water or Lakeside or whatever, and you went to a proper shop, easily be paying 60 to 80 quid, I reckon, for this. So yeah, big up the Asda. Who would have thought that Asda would do some decent clothes for dog handling? But yeah, other than that, I think I'll probably leave it there. I think that's been a decent live. Some people come in, got spammed a little bit by some certain accounts, but that's what happens when you're an absolute megastar, that you start attracting spammers into your lives, etc. But other than that, I'm going to leave it there. This will go live, so if you're just tuning in now and you want to watch it from the start, I'll make this go live once I finish it, etc. If you've liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below for loads more videos, and as for now, I will see you in Saturday's video when you watch it, and I'll see you again in the next live when I can get one done. All right guys, cheers for watching. I'll speak to you later.